Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, me and my team member want to present about our topic, which is responsibility of Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat in custody and protection of abused children. Okay, so meet my team member, Izzatul Syazwani binti Amdan, Nur Masyita binti Abdul Rahman, Siti Batrisha binti Muhammad Rashidi, and me, Nur Syahida binti Sa'ad. Okay, today I want to talk about my point, which is introduction. Okay, this division here is Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat must ensure that child care, protection, rehabilitation, and development service are provided efficiently and effectively service. So, therefore, parents want to find a child care center that has many benefits and can provide education to their children. And another 4 points that parents want to take nowadays. First is safety. First, the primary function of a child care or daycare center is to provide a safe and secure environment with a quality caregivers, so the parent have a peace of mind of knowing their children are safe while they work. And many states have departments dedicate children care, licensing, and conduct regular routine expectation of daycare facility. So parents is less worried to leave their child at the daycare center. Okay, second is education. From infant through preschool age kids, most daycare center now have planned educational activities that help to build a foundation for later school success. So children can learn through play as well as structured learning program. Most children who attend a daycare through the preschool level are able to organize and write letter and also sight word and can do basic addition and subtraction. So this can make the transition to kindergarten much easier and give them a head start on learning skill. And a second point is socialization, which is one of the best benefit a child receives while attending a daycare program is socialization. Truth, play with peers, and interaction with adult staff. Member, children learn valuable social skills including sharing, compromising, and language skill. Children who do not have access to peer group tend to have a harder time adjusting to elementary school than those that attend daycare or preschool. So, they were considered to choosing play equipment that allow for exploring rules such as toy kitchen and costume piece of dressing up. And last point is health. Okay, they can nowadays daycare center must provide healthy, well-rounded meal and snack. Most daycare center have regulation governing the types of food and drinks that may provide while children are attending daycare. Although daycare centers are also responsible for ensuring children receive adequate opportunities for physical fitness. Usually, these goals are achieved through a combination of song and dance, outdoor play, and structured activities. So, if a parent or a daycare serve a low-income area, some states have programs that help offset the cost of healthy food, drink, and snack. So, the 4 main point to parents now they choose is safety, education, socialization, and health. So, that's for my point. Thank you.
Hello, Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Izzatul Syazwani binti Amdan with matric number 0201123034. Today I would like to explain about my point, which is help children adjust to new norms. So let's see what I'm going to explain. Help children adjust to the new norm have 3 points. The number 1 is new campaign to change social norms. The campaign is based on a social norms analysis study with scrutinized the norm related to violence against children and confirmed that using violent parenting methods is a social norm. Harsh disciplining of children is frequent in families and schools. Children may experience violence on the street, at home, and school. It can be both physical and physiological, often leaving by lasting impressions. So, this alone cannot address the challenges presented by social norm. We tend to accept disciplinary use of violence and physical punishment. So, a social change community campaign such as End Violence will initiate public dialogue and create a core group of advocates in the country to assess with further change. The objective of the campaign is more people can learn and use alternative, positive parenting method, and to create core group that will act as change maker in the social norm transformation process. Children and youth will receive information about violence and how to solve problems in non-violent way. As part of the campaign, special textbook and comic for children will be developed. Meetings will be held with teachers and young people in schools and university through the country all around the world. Debate will be organized for school children on violence. Discussion will be initiated within professional groups such as teachers, social workers, and community members in several regions in the world. So the next point is the point number 2 is building resilience in children's. Building resilience is the ability to adapt well to adversity, trauma, tragedy, threats, or even significant sources of stress that can help our children manage stress and feelings of anxiety and uncertainty. However, being resilient does not mean that children won't experience difficulty or distress. Emotional pain, sadness, and anxiety are common when we have suffered major trauma or personal loss, or even when we hear to someone else's loss or trauma. So, in building resilience in children, I have took 5 points, which is make connections, maintain a daily routine, teach children self-care, nurture a positive self-view, and accept changes. So, make connection is teach your child the importance of engaging and connecting their peer, including the skill of empathy and listening to others. Find ways to help children foster connectivity by suggesting they connect to peer in person and through phones, video chats, and texts. It's also important to build a strong family network. Connecting with others provides social support and strengthens resilience. The point number 2 is maintain a daily routine. Sticking to a routine can be comforting to children, especially younger children who crave structure in their life. Work with your child to develop a routine and highlight times that are for school, work, and play. Particularly during time of distress or transition, you might need to be flexible with some routines. At the same time, schedule and consistent are important to maintain. The next point is teach children self-care. Teach your child the importance of basic self-care. They may be making more time to eat properly, exercise, and get sufficient sleep. Make sure your child has time to have fun and participate in activities they enjoy. Caring for oneself and even having fun will help children stay balanced and better deal with stressful time. The next is nurture a positive self-view. Help your children remember ways that have successfully handled hardships in the past and help them understand that these past challenges help build the strength to handle future challenges. Help your child learn to trust themselves to solve problems and making appropriate decisions. At school, help children see how their individual accomplishments contribute to the well-being of the class as a whole. The last is accept changes. Changes often can be scary for children and teens. Help your child see the change in part of life. And new goals can replace a new goals can replace goals that have been become untenable. This is important to examine what is going well and to have a plan of action for what is going well, what is not going well. In school, point out how students have changed. They move up to grade level and discuss how the change has had an impact on students. So the last point is support mental health during COVID-19. The COVID-19 pandemic has caused major disruptions to daily life and children are feeling these changes deeply. While in return to school will be welcomed by many students, others will be feeling anxious and frightening. So how community or how parents support mental health for students during their during COVID-19 pandemic is we ensure children about safety measures and remind children about that positive. So what is children may feel nervous and reluctant to return to school, especially if they have been learning at home for months. Be honest, for example, you could go through some of the changes they may expect at schools, such as needing to wear form of protecting clothes like masks. Children may also find it difficult being physically distant from friends and teachers while at school. So you could encourage them to think about other ways to bond and stay connected. So reassure children about safety measures in a place to help protect students and teachers and remind children that they can also help prevent germs spreading by washing their hands with soap and coughing or sneezing in their elbow. So remind children about the positives that they will be able to see their friends and teachers if they are physically returning to the classroom and continue learning things. So the next is here the some of photo I took from Google related photo from my point one. Why child abuse and neglect is a significant public health problem. It is also a preventable one. In order to protect children from this situation, it is necessary to develop preventive programs to raise awareness of their family, teachers, community, and to make legal arrangement. So that's all for my explanation. I will thank you for watching and hear my explanation. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum. My name is Siti Novatrisha binti Muhammad Rashidi. Okay, so this is my part. Strategy needed to achieve the National Child Protection Policy. Okay, so the first point for strategy needed to achieve the National Child Protection Policy is advocacy. Okay, so the first point for advocacy is encourage the provision of a healthy and safe environment for children. Okay, the second is encourage each organization to establish policy and regulation on child protection. And last for advocacy is inculcate and cultivate awareness of the importance of the responsibility of protecting children to all levels of society, including creating smart partnership with the media and NGO. including the private sector and community or organization. Okay, so the next point is prevention. Okay, provide basic knowledge to children to enable them to protect themselves from neglect, abuse, violence, and exploitation, as well as identify situations that are at risk to them. Okay, so the next point is support service. Okay, um, expand and improve counseling service to victim, family, adult offender, child offender, and the local community. Okay, and the next point for support service is increase and expand protection and health service in victim and family. Okay, so for the last point for strategy needed to achieve the national child protection policy is research and development. Okay, encourage research and development on child protection and disseminate research finding for improvement. So I think that's all from me. Thank you. So I will pass the next presenter.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hello everyone. I'm Nur Mashita binti Abdul Rahman, and my program is Bachelor of Business Administration. So regarding to this topic, I will continue for my part, which is explaining about the another responsibility of Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat, or well known as the Social Welfare Department. So before I explain for more detail, I want to highlight a little bit information about this topic. According to Datuk Seri Rohani Abdul Karim, is one seminar of support system for child survivors. She had highlights about this situation. The sound are like this. We have child protectors, psychology and witness support survive officer available to all child witnesses, including child offender. So what she want to tell to us regarding these cases, we as citizen or parties, we should have an awareness to children who are in abuse cases. So let's go back to our discussion. So I will explain about the responsibility of JKM in order to reduce abuse cases. So as Jabatan Kebajikan Masyarakat, they should give children who are in abuse cases, they have to give them protection. So give them protection, not only help them recover of action, irresponsible performance, but also they have to need to provide their basic needs, such as providing accommodation, facility with goods, infrastructure, of adequate and nutritious food and drink for their intellectual growth and development. In addition, they also need to ensure that they get knowledge, education, and at the same time, need to emphasize religious knowledge to them for their future. Thus, these cases is not only managed by the Department of Social Welfare alone, but as citizen or public should also have a sense of love and concern for their group, for this victim, because they also have the right to life and be given good treatment. So we need to consider this group as member of our family. Okay, therefore, the people should consider this case to avoid this case from our country because it has become a hot topic on social media, and there are parties who do not consider them, and there are parties, some of them not consider the situation. So I I think that's all for me. I will pass to next presenter for more detail. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you for all my team member that has explained their point, and now I want to conclude all the explanation. Okay, in conclusion, child abuse is an inhuman and cruel behavior. This is because children are an important asset to our country in the future. Although abusing important national assets mean we are destroying our country and ourselves. Moreover, all parties such as a parent, teacher, and social like NGO and the government must take responsibility and take action to reduce the number of child abuse cases in Malaysia, because they all in this country don't want anything happen nowadays, like in this case nowadays that happened. So that's all from me and my team member. Thank you.